Pooh Shiesty, the real menace of South Memphis.
On some real shit, I gotta keep it so 100. I ain't never like you, cuz. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never like your ass. I ain't never liked you, cuz. You know I ain't like you. In the street wide, like we ain't gonna talk about that on here though.
Who been flying on the E-way and you know we bumping breaking new. Big MC2, bitch, I'm sliding, miss a way to do. No, I ain't gonna do screw. I'm smiling when you drink the 2-3 with the draw like LeBron.
When I was hustling, I always was playing Memphis rappers. I felt like they had such an underground scene. That's what I gravitated to. Like the most gutter music is what I want to hear.
Police and prosecutors say
that's our problem. We want to hit it. You know what I'm saying?
Stupid.
Nah, see, I used to be like that. No, not no more. Turn on some Gunna, some Johnny Sicko, some Future. You know what I'm saying? Some Weekend. You feel me? Some what's bro name? Mofo now.
Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the shots flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor
Lance
Island.
London on
What's
Fodell.
up, everybody? Probably the most requested artist for me to make a video on right now is Pooh Shiesty. It's one of the biggest movements in rap and it's coming out of Memphis, but for a lot of folks, it feels like he came out of nowhere. Last week, Shiesty was second only to Drake for the most streamed artist in the country.
Crazy, right? Now, this is an older documentary, so this before he got locked up and all that. I think this before he got locked up.
There's a reason everyone's drawn to him. Pooh Shiesty's crew, Chopper Gang's gotta be one of the wildest in the industry, and the music reflects it. Doesn't matter how many billboards all over the country have his face on it. Doesn't matter he's signed to a major label deal with Gucci and Atlantic, selling 60K the first week on his debut album. Shiesty will still rob a dude in Miami who was trying to sell him weed and some Jordans, stick 2 shooters on the guy, sending him to the hospital, escape in a green McLaren, get arrested, bond out, and leave the state in a private jet.
Now, this is I be talking about that is just stupid. You a multi-millionaire and you trying to rob a nigga who's selling you some Loud and some Jordans. For what? Call the popo. Like, what are you doing? Just to, like, further, like, show that you really a street. I'm finna rob him because he a hoe and I'm a real street. Like, what, bro? You're a millionaire. Why are you robbing people?
Stop it. Get some help.
Saying the two left the state in a private jet.
Dang.
See, Shiesty keeps his circle small. You basically gotta give your life to Chopper Gang just to be around. Chopper Gang Hank, he's locked up for an attempt allegedly shot up a car and paralyzed the dude in a bad case of mistaken identity. Chopper Wap, he's down for and 2 attempts. Even Shiesty's best bro,
That's what King Von got locked up for, murder 2 attempts.
Who was signed to a deal way before Shiesty was, getting tens of millions of streams a month. He got booked 2 weeks before Shiesty did on felony charges in Alabama, got extradited back to Memphis for another pending case he was already fighting, made bond, and released the song first day out. But most of the mainstream was not tuned in until Lil Durk and Shiesty came together to make the song Back in Blood. And while most fans were focused on Durk in the wake of the Quando and Von situation, the entire city of Memphis was focused on Shiesty's verse. Because he wasn't just rapping, Shiesty was talking about a specific event that happened where he and 2 members of his crew went to a rival house in Memphis and robbed a bunch of from them. That's why in the lyrics he says, yeah, you know who took that from you, come get it back in blood. On the song, Shiesty's talking directly to them.
We ain't mad, Scarr. We want you to see this face. You nigga know who it was did that to y'all. You nigga know.
The rival gangs called EBG, and them and Shiesty have had problems for many years locally in Memphis. EBG being from the north, Shiesty being from the south, it plays into this divide that's long existed in the city. But now the Back in Blood song is worldwide, hitting the number 8 spot on Billboard charts, getting 50 million views on YouTube in 1 month, forcing EBG, who aren't even rappers, to respond over the same Back in Blood beat.
The real Chopper Gang.
Their remix got taken down a bunch of times, each time getting hundreds of thousands of views in days. So EBG dropped a second diss track. This one called Rumors. They even got Quando Rondo to make an appearance, taking collateral shots at Durk just for being on the original song with Shiesty. Now, we're gonna get into all this.
That's just that should be for clout. Don't listen to that. Be for clout, man. Lil Durk ain't got nothing to do with y'all problems with them. Just calling Quando Rondo this is weird.
An
enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah. He wouldn't be your friend. Hold on, y'all. This is my clothing brand. I need y'all to go support your boy, okay? And supporting your boy with some pretty cheap clothing, all right? And you gonna be fly and fresh as hell, man. All right, link in the description. They already .us. Go shop. If that nigga ain't had no clout, do your homework. Look at the pinky.
But first, check out my song of the day.
Nope.
Getting signed. And the reason is, Memphis has one of the rawest, most authentic cultures. But there's a lot more to it than good music and good barbecue.
This cracking it.
Memphis is the heart of the Bible Belt, with more churches than gas stations. On one hand, it's that southern hospitality, homer-friendly folks who work hard to get by, but on the other hand, it's extreme violence, making Memphis the third most dangerous city in America. It's rural country, so practically everybody's tooled up, and folks have paramilitary weapons. In areas like the South or North Memphis, your life expectancy is 20 years shorter than other parts of the city.
Now, in some neighborhoods,
crazy,
in Memphis, families are sleeping on.
That's why I be telling y'all, don't be thinking this shit cool to be in the hood, gang. I'm talking about the second you got enough resources or the second you get a job, bro, you should be saving up to get the out of the hood. Because you literally just leaving the hood and going to the suburbs, your life expectancy goes up 20 years. Did you hear what he just said? You will live 20 years longer just simply not living in this hood. So why the fuck would I want to live over here? Why the fuck would I think that this cool to live over here if my life expectancy goes down 20 years? Just statistics, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your life expectancy goes down 20 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? Think about all the guys that got all the rappers, everybody, most people was 25 and under, bro. I think Vaughn was 26 and Duck was 26. And that's old. But if you talk about L.A. Capone, Lil JoJo, Lil Mark, Tuka, they all died when they was 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, bro. It's hard to make it to 21 out there in them streets. So why the fuck would you go out there and be beating your chest like it's cool to die at 21? No.
Being hit.
No.
By gunfire from outside. For some, they live in a war zone.
For Pooh Shiesty, he's from the Cane Creek Apartments in South Memphis, just 15 minutes from Moneybag Yo's hood, the Walker Homes, not far from Young Dolph's neighborhood in Castalia, and black youngsters around the way too. Pooh Shiesty growing up was very much on that energy. Let his boy Big 30 tell you, at age 11, Shiesty thought he was American gangster, getting arrested and expelled from middle school at the same time, forced to wear an ankle monitor. See, Shiesty followed in his pop's footsteps. Pooh's father was a known gangster and founder of the record label Mob Ties. In 2006, one of his artists, who went by the name Miscellaneous, got into a triple shooting at Yo Gotti's birthday bash. The club managers knew that Yo Gotti and Miscellaneous were beefing, and instead of canceling the event, they hired 35 security guards using 4 metal detectors to screen their crowd.
That shit still ain't
didn't work. That same year, Shiesty's father was convicted of being an accessory in the murder of a local female DJ, which put him on supervised parole. Even with the law breathing down his neck, his pops was still hustling for almost a year, bringing in money under the radar from a trap house on a street called Porter. The house fell on a dead end and looked like it had been abandoned. But little did Pooh's father know, Memphis police had been monitoring the spot for months. One day, his father was in there. They had the measuring cups by the stove, the digital scales on the kitchen counter. One of them had wood, the other had coke. Suddenly, there was a loud boom as the front door busted open and cops bursted in, rushing apartment 3 that was just up the stairs. As the cops ran up, this 75-pound pit bull came sprinting around the corner and leaped at their necks, so the officers shot it 3 times before the dog retreated to the kitchen and later died. In the chaos, you could hear yelling, "Go, go, go," as people ran from apartment 3 to apartment 4, trying to escape. Glass shattered as folks jumped out the window, leaving Pooh's father in the kitchen, cornered by police. They told him to surrender, and he did, leaving the officers with 12.5 grams of 8 pounds of kush, and $10,000 cash that they took from Pooh's father's left pocket. With his pops in and out doing Fed bids, Shiesty was running around a badass little kid, jumping people, finessing people. That's how he got the name Shiesty. And Memphis is a small world, everybody knows each other. Shiesty even went to Central High School with some of the people he's into it with right now, like the main rapper from EBG, E Jizzle. But Pooh's reputation began to travel. In high school, he expanded his circle, clicking up on some plans to get money by any means. Together with his childhood friend Big 30 from Whitehaven, Little Hank Etwop, and a few others, they came up with the name Chopper Gang, and it stuck.
Chopper Gang. Chopper Gang. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We ain't got a prop to crop.
Oh, that's Scarr.
Be real, we slug and shit.
We ain't got a prop to crop.
You gonna come chop me the whole block, street, whatever.
Within Chopper Gang, there are various members that come from big sets that are prominent in the area. What a lot of people don't know, Memphis has every single national gang and more. It's extremely active, with this new trend towards hybrid gangs, smaller mobs, and cliques within the sets going renegade, warring with each other.
See where there was an older person running everything, but it's been changing. A lot of these young kids with these offset groups, they're totally different.
More little cliques or little gangs that seem to be particularly violent and need less and less of a reason to resort to shooting.
One story of a guy named White Grape, or White Boy Kenny, who went to Central High School with Pooh Shiesty and them, and was known for having girls lined up like a buffet. He was a member of Chopper Gang who got initiated into the Grape Street Crips. They beat the shit out of him, took a photo that went viral as he became an official Grape Street member. But one day, White Grape allegedly got his gun robbed from him, so Chopper Gang had to cut ties with him, basically disowning him. Only for White Grape to catch a murder case months later after a drug deal went wrong and clients tried to pay him with counterfeit money, so he shot and one of them. Now, Chopper Gang continued spreading their enterprise, planning bigger licks that brought more.
That's another reason why the street's stupid, you know? Because it's like, if you gonna be in the streets, it's like you gotta be willing to kill. But if you're willing to kill, you gotta be ready to go to jail. You feel me? In reality, it would have been smarter for him to just let himself get finessed, going on by his business, lose his little $100 or whatever it was, and stop selling drugs. But because he was already locked into the streets and he was selling drugs, he had to kill him because he can't let the streets think that just finesse him with fake money and it's just easy like that. Then everybody gonna try to finesse him. Then everybody gonna try to rob him. It's a slippery slope. So he felt like he gotta pull his, he gotta kill folks right here. You know what I'm saying? But that's in now you in prison. Now you ain't selling nothing no more. So it's like a lose-lose. You see what I'm saying? It's like you go down. It's like a one-way street, folks. Like you going down this one-way street, you going the wrong way. You go on the other side of the freeway and try to drive, gang. See how long that lasts for somebody lose their life. You know, that's kind of like what it is. Like it's like the basket, the bucket you in for. It's only a lose or lose. It ain't no way you can win, folks.
Shiesty himself says before the age of 15, you're gonna lose a close friend in Memphis. Guaranteed someone close to you is gonna get killed. Around 2016, he lost his best friend Trey, which turned his heart cold. Pooh Shiesty vowed to live with no remorse from that day forward and be a menace to society. And after he graduated high school in 2018, Chopper Gang had many streams of income flowing in, and they started using some of this money they were making to pay for studio time.
I just turned up. You said brrr.
It was one of those rare cases where the music blew up
Scarr,
out the gate. They dropped their first song, Breaking News, near the end of 2018, and by 2019, they were buzzing. Shiesty's childhood friend Big 30 got signed to fellow Memphis artist Moneybagg Yo. Meanwhile, Shiesty was still a free agent, dropping his singles every other week, racking in views. This caught the attention of Opps, who was in the middle of building his 1017 roster, looking for the grimiest artists he could find. Of course, Opps was the original slime. You remember hearing stories of a young Gucci Mane terrorizing the industry. Famously, the first time he met French Montana to do a song together, French paid him $5,000 and waited in the studio patiently while Gucci took the money and left out the back door.
Gucci didn't like French. Because the first time he went to the studio to do a song with him, he paid Gucci $5,000 to get on the feature. And he was just sitting in the studio, but Gucci was going out the back door. He wasn't doing nothing. And I said, Gucci, you can't do no shit like that.
And that's the same energy Gucci saw in Pooh Shiesty. After hearing one song on YouTube, he hit up Pooh on IG to get the paperwork ready for a major label deal with Atlantic. Chopper Gang was laughing to the bank. The industry up and let some real gangsters in. Big Scarr, who's also from South Memphis and just happens to be Pooh Shiesty's cousin, he's a founding member of a clique called Double R that's been in a brutal war at home in Memphis for quite some time. And up until this point, Big Scarr was strictly in the streets handling business and never really considered himself a rapper. Until one day, he actually blew up off a reaction video done by a YouTuber named Tommy Craze, who reacted to Big Scarr's first ever song when it had only 5 views in 9 hours.
That's how he blew up? That reacted to a video that only had 5 views in 9 hours, which probably him, his cousin, and his mama, and his phone there. Like, this shit ain't had no promo, and I guess he must have just was reacting to videos that ain't had no views, music videos that ain't had no views, and he was like, that shit hard, and that shit blew up. That's crazy.
Big Scarr, make a play.
That's crazy.
9 hours ago. Man, that was so hard. Definitely co-sign this track. Big Scarr, make a play. Go and check it out.
That song went on to do millions of views.
That's crazy.
2 months later, after Shiesty became a major label artist, and with only 2 songs ever published, his cousin Big Scarr inked a deal with Gucci, making Choppa Gang and their affiliates the single biggest movement coming out of the Mid-South. And with all this attention on Memphis, it brought more drama to the city. Pooh Shiesty was living up to his name and began taking shots at another Memphis rapper named Big Boogie.
Where you at, Big Boogie? The Boogster. Where you at? Hey, Boogie, hey, Red Ron, I would get out there in the street with your gang, me by myself. The whole gang right now, today, in like 30 minutes, on live, all this shit. Why you say something back, cuz? You did that out of your fans, cuz. You let your fans boot your head up, cuz. You know you done cost yourself. You got shows and shit ahead of you, bro.
Boogie's a rising artist out of Frazier, which is the north super country part of Memphis. Seems like a good guy. According to Boogie, they never met a day in their life, but Shiesty claims when he pulled up in the north to see Boogie, it was a whole different story.
Oh, you been running from me, bro. You been running. You been running from me, bro. You know what happened in the north, bro, when I pulled up, came on your side, bro. You know what happened.
And Pooh is so petty, he even went as far as naming a strain of Red Rum after Big Boogie's crew, Red Rum, just so he could say that he's smoking on that Red Rum pack. And the bigger you get, the bigger the target you become in Memphis. Just a few days after he went back and forth with Shiesty on social media, Big Boogie's concert in Mississippi got shot up. It was the scene of a double 50 shots in total were fired.
Is that real bandage he got on?
Shot up. It was the scene
or is that like a prop?
Of a double.
Probably
50 shots in total were fired from 5 different, hitting Big Boogie's friend Jasmine, who was on stage with him, and she later died in Boogie's arms. Fast forward a few months later to November 6th. Durk and Pooh Shiesty linked up to drop the audio for the song Back in Blood. That's the same day where King Von passed away in Atlanta after an altercation with Quando Rondo outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge.
I don't know. That's weird, though. That ain't weird. You drop a song called Back in Blood with Pooh Shiesty that goes extremely viral, and your best friend or whatever you want to call him got killed that same night. I'm going to just let you know where my head goes. Was it a sacrifice? Bruh. Was it some energy? Was it the same? You was getting back the same energy you was putting out? I don't know, bro. You feel me? But I think that energy is real, bro. You know what I'm saying? Put out a song called Back in Blood, and it's crazy.
Shiesty and Durk had already filmed the music video back in Chicago, but chose not to release it yet. This was, in many ways, the mainstream's introduction to Pooh Shiesty. A few more weeks went by, and the song continued to climb the charts. Then randomly, at 6 in the morning on a Tuesday in December, Shiesty posts this cryptic warning to Facebook. Drop that song, and you're not gonna live to see that baby get here. That's when New Year's came around, January 1st, 2021. Whoa. A Memphis crew called EBG put out a remix to Back in Blood, going after Shiesty, responding to everything he said on the original track. They got Choppa Gang CGK on their t-shirts. Pooh responded immediately, saying this had to be the worst move this gang ever made, and that he did 18 million views off of them before he even said their name. The very next day, Shiesty dropped the music video that he filmed with Durk back in Chicago, making Back in Blood the trending topic once again, shooting all the way up the Billboard rankings. EBG's remix was getting taken down left and right due to copyrights, so EBG's main rapper E Jizzle dropped another diss track called Rumors, which ran up in views quickly, hitting 1 million views in less than a week. Then Jizzle was shot 3 times just days after this second diss track went live.
I know Coinky
I bet
then.
Dad can't do this. Dad can't do this. Who this? Who? I can't walk. I can't walk. Cool, boy.
3 bullets hit his arm, and after getting them removed, Jizzle was back on the block wearing a cast, just in time to drop his 3rd diss track called Paralyzed.
Hey, y'all shot the wrong arm.
To add to the unfortunate timing,
this is shit I don't be getting. It shoot you all them times in the leg and the arm and or whatever the hell. You come out right after with still in a cast and drop another song.
Stop it.
What?
Get some help.
This would have been a Jehovah's Witness, Muslim, and a Christian at the same time the next day. Y'all is crazy as
Pooh Shiesty's brother,
you ain't
who
learned
had
your
been on
lesson
life
yet?
support fighting for every breath, was pronounced just hours before EBG released this new diss. As it stands, the song has nearly 400,000 views in a week. EBG Jizzle went from a couple thousand followers to 50,000 almost overnight. And Memphis has pretty much been in a frenzy ever since. But yeah,
Crazy, right?
Let me know if there's a video you want me to cover.
Crazy, boy. Now they say Pooh Shiesty and got out of jail and robbed Gucci Mane.
Finish him.
Call the popo, huh?
I don't know.